guys, so actually today I figured I would do a kind of, not really unboxing, I guess it could be considered unboxing, but a first time opening. And basically I'm just going to give you my first impression of the palette, and I actually got this for Christmas from my parents, so I haven't opened it or really tried anything out too much. I did, however, try out one eyeshadow color that I actually was dying to try, and then I figured instead of trying all of them out, why not show you guys? So, it is the Smashbox Full Exposure palette, and it includes a Smashbox Full Exposure free mascara sample. Nothing too spectacular, because I already had this sample 30 times, actually. So, yeah. I actually do like the mascara though, and I'm glad I keep getting samples because I really do enjoy it. So I'm not sure if there is like the colors, the names of the colors, or if there's just colors in the palette. I'm going to show you guys now. There is shimmer and there is matte, so we're going to hop right into this. The first thing I pull out of the box is the Smashbox Full Exposure Mascara, and I figure if I am going to be doing kind of a review first impression thing, I will show you the mascara and what it looks like. When I first opened it, because again I have had this sample many times, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, that's a really big brush. Maybe it's because it's sample size and the brush isn't, I have no idea. And at first I thought I wouldn't really like it, but when I tried it, this thing was amazing. So I actually really enjoy using this. And I do take this one on travels, like when I actually travel, I take this with me because it's so small and it can just fit in a compartment. And as well as that, it's really good mascara, so I really do enjoy using this. The next thing I see when I take the box is the actual palette. So the palette isn't exactly as big as the box. I'm going to show you how big the box is around. It's about like that. All that, there's nothing really there in that. So the palette fits in there in the middle, obviously. So the box is bigger than the palette, just so you know, because some people think that this is the size of the palette. No, it is not, because they had to fit the mascara in there, and the mascara is this tall, this wide. So I'm assuming that's what they did there. On the back of the palette, it says Smashbox Full Exposure Palette. And it says shimmer and matte, so there's shimmer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and matte 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there is 14 shades in here. And it says it has a double-ended eyeshadow brush. And I first noticed it says on the front, Smashbox Full Exposure. And I really like this packaging. It kind of reminds me of like a rainbow type thing. Because it changes color, as you can probably tell. And I don't know, I just really like the packaging of this. So first off, it's awesome. I really like this. And I like how there's like a matte cover and then there's like a shiny. And inside there is shimmer or matte, so it kind of ties along with what's inside of the palette as well. Okay, so now opening this palette. This palette I probably am really excited about, because when I got the Naked 2 palette, I was like jumping for joy. I was so excited to open it. And this year I didn't ask for Naked 3. I didn't really ask for any palette actually. But I'm happy I got one because I really do like these types of palettes. Okay. Now I have opened this, so the brush is going to be used a bit, but I'm still going to show you. So the first thing I see that comes out of this is a little plastic thing that goes over the mirror. And that's probably not exciting, but that's the first thing I see. So this is what it looks like. Ooh, hello. And the mirror, and then all these colors, these wonderful, beautiful colors, and the double-ended brush. I will show you close up now in a second. And I dropped the brush, but it's okay. It's okay. Okay, so the brush looks like this. I'll show you close up in a second. On this side, no, I did not color this black. It is just black. Then you turn around, it's white, but it does have a little cream on it because I did use a cream shadow. And on the other side is probably my favorite side. It has a fluffy blending brush. And I actually really like this brush. So, I do think I would use this brush. I don't know if I necessarily would use it a lot, because again, I do have brushes that I like, and I have my own brushes that I use quite a lot, but I say I would get a use out of this one. So the next thing I see in this palette are all these beautiful colors. You guys like those colors? I do. And I will do a close-up on them now in 1 second. So I'll show you each color individually and what they look like. The first color that I'm going to show you is this black, kind of grayish color, and I'm going to show you a swatch now. And this is what the swatch looks like. This is only one swatch, so of course it does fade out at the end. But this is what it will look like when you first put it on, and I actually really like it. I think it's quite pigmented. I don't think it's more black. I think it's more on the gray side. But when you swatch it on your finger, it looks black. And you're going to be like, oh my god. When you actually put it on, it kind of fades into a grayish color. But I still really like it. The next color I'm going to do is kind of like this really light beige, kind of mixed with brown. And I actually think this is going to be one of my favorites because I love these types of colors. As you can tell, this one is a bit more pigmented than the grayish black color one, but I still really like it. And also I think this is going to be my favorite out of the palette because it is matte and it's got like a brown hint to it, so I really like it. The next shade is this peachy colored one, and it kind of reminds me almost of a champagne, but it isn't at the same time. Kind of on camera it looks more peachy, but in real life it's mixed with like peach and a really light color champagne one. I definitely think this one looks awesome, and I kind of want to try it out because I think it would also look good on the inner corner, possibly. As you can tell, this one is a bit harder to see, and there's a little bit of fallout there. It is a bit harder to see because my skin tone is also very light. The next color is on the more orangey, kind of turning into bronzy colors. Personally, I don't wear many of these colors, but I think I could end up blending it into my crease and kind of mixing it with some darker colors to make it look more of my style. As you can tell, this one, again, isn't one of the more pigmented ones, but sometimes it's better to have a kind of lighter shade, and that way you can build it up. And I think that's what I'd be able to do with this one because I think if I did some more swatches, it would be pretty pigmented. Overall, though, I actually am surprised that I actually quite like this one because it doesn't show up as orange on my skin tone as I thought it would. The next color is a very light brown, and I'm gonna like this one, I know that, because I have tried this one. It's coming off quite a bit lighter than it actually is for some reason. I'm thinking it's because of the lighting I have, but honestly, this is so pretty. I would wear this every day if I could. This is a lot darker in person. It actually is very dark brown. And on camera, it's coming off a little bit lighter than it actually is, but honestly, it's really pretty and really nice. I think that I would use this for like my outer corners because it is so dark. I don't think I'd use it like on the lid or in a corner. This is so pigmented and so pretty. You don't understand how much I actually like this one. I definitely think it's outer corner color. I don't think I would really put it in my inner corner or on my lid, but I would blend it into my crease. And it is pretty nice, and I think that it's pretty blendable as well because as you can see, I kind of ran my finger over there to blend it a tiny bit, and it did get a lighter. So we are done the mattes now, and I'm starting the shimmers. So I'm going to start over this side just like I did before with the black, and this shimmer is a really pretty silvery color, but it also has a black hint to it. As you can see, there's a difference, but it does have black hints to it. So I actually do really like this color, and I'm sure I would use it in more of a smoky eye, not like an everyday look for me, because I use a lot more neutrals. The next color I have is basically a lighter version of this one. It is a silvery gray color with lots of sparkles, and I am expecting it to turn out like that one, but lighter. It is still kind of grayish silver, but I do think it has more of a peachy kind of hint sparkles to it, because this one has more of actual silver sparkles, and I think that's what makes this one a lot lighter. But overall, I actually really do like this one as well. The next color I have is this kind of bronzy, brownish color, and it's really pretty. Okay, as you can probably tell, this one wasn't as pigmented as the other ones. I found that the other ones were at least a little bit darker, but this one came out very light. This was 3 swatches on top of each other. I do think that it is really pretty though. I think if you're just kind of looking for a neutral kind of sparkly color, this color is one of the lighter ones of these. All the rest are pretty dark. This is a really peachy, pretty color. It is a champagne color to me because I do have another eyeshadow that legitimately says champagne as the name, and it is really, really pretty and light. And this one is very, very similar to it, but it has a bit of a peachier tone. For the mattes, I found that this one kind of had a champagne-y color too that I showed you before, and a peachier tone to it, but this one's more peachier up here. On my skin tone, you can't really see this very clearly, but in real life, it is so pretty. You don't understand. This is actually a gorgeous color, and I think it's my favorite out of all the shimmers so far. I don't even know. Like, this is so pigmented, but yet you can't really see it because it is so close to my skin tone because it is very light. But it is so pretty. Oh my gosh, this is one of my favorites, easily. Now we're leaving the really light color and going into a bronzy orange copper color. I'm just kind of excited to try this one out because I haven't really found a copper that looks right on my skin tone where I am so pale. This color actually in real life is pretty pigmented. I guess it's just where the sun is hitting it right now. You're not seeing how pigmented it is. But I think I could put this on my outer corner and work it into my crease and it would look fine because it isn't really standing out as much as other coppers would. On my skin tone, again, oranges aren't exactly my thing because of how pale I am. But I do think I could make this one kind of work with me. The next color is leaving the orangey copper tone and kind of going more into a bronze transition. It does have a bit of the orangey copper, but not as much as this one. And it's more transitioning into the bronze. As you can tell, this one is one of the more pigmented ones. Compared to this one's more of a peachy color now compared to that. But I still think this one's more on the orange side. Personally, this one I think is more of a coppery tone that I wouldn't wear. I think that one I would be able to wear. This one, I'm not sure because, again, it doesn't really match my skin tone. And the last shimmer shade I have is this bronze color, and it's completely left the coppers and gone into bronze. It does have a few orange sparkles I am noticing, and a yellowy tone sparkle as well. But I think that this one's going to be more on the bronzy side. I also really like this one. This is probably my favorite darkest one out of the shimmer side of things. But again, I'm loving that champagne one up there. So I'm already planning out looks for this, but maybe I'll do a tutorial. I have no idea. Overall, I really, really like this palette. I think I am going to get some good use out of it. Definitely I like the mattes a lot more than the shimmer, but that's just my personal preference. Because sometimes I'm in the mood for matte, sometimes I'm in the mood for shimmer. Overall, I really like this. And if you guys are into shimmers, I would recommend buying this palette. And if you guys are into mattes, I would recommend getting this palette. And if you guys are into both, definitely get this palette because it does have a variety to use.